Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. As you can see, I'm back home, and as soon as I came back, the bells started ringing, and I was like, yes, I'm so happy to hear these bells. It's really good to be back. I don't think that's going to last very long, that feeling, but I'm enjoying it while it's here. This is your weekly horoscope for Monday, the 12th of December, going through until Sunday, the 18th of December, 2022. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Now, I've had a look at this week and it looks like you're going to be very grounded, optimistic, and you'll be able to get a lot done. There's also this amazing sense that I have all the options in the world. So there's this huge sense of inner confidence that says I can handle anything that comes my way and I can even do it differently if I want. So I have choice and freedom. It looks really, really good. So starting with Monday, the 12th of December, we've got the Leo moon forming a square with Uranus and Taurus. So the moon in Leo gives you that great sense of optimism here at the beginning of the week particularly, and creating friction between itself and Uranus and Taurus. That says that chaos isn't that rough. I can handle it. I can handle anything. The Leo moon trines Chiron in Aries. So what about my role in things? It sextiles Mars in Gemini. You're very articulate and communicative. And it quincunxes Mercury in Capricorn. So if you're someone who works with symbols, or you have to interpret symbols, semiotics, I think it's called, that's going to work very nicely on Monday. So if there's something super complicated that you've got to deal with, look at it on Monday. It'll make sense really quickly. The Sun in Sagittarius sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. So that's great. So that's this sense of, I want to go on an adventure and I can do that by myself or with other people. So first option, really, I don't have to be with someone to go to the cinema. I can go by myself. So you do start this week on a great note here with this confidence and willingness to resolve outstanding issues. You're very hardworking, you're switched on, and you're able to get things done. So doing things by yourself or in groups, that extends to your working life and your personal life. So it makes sense that you feel kind of footloose and carefree because you shine in both areas. Tuesday, the 13th of December, we have the Leo moon forming an opposition with Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, that's a little bit different because the moon in Leo now seems smaller in comparison to Saturn. Saturn is this big outer planet. In Aquarius, it's about the rules and the structures of society and libraries and the wisdom of other people. That opposition may make you feel a little bit intimidated or hesitant, or possibly even not as energized as you were on the day before. The moon then, though, trines the Sun in Sagittarius, so that brings it all back. So as the day progresses, if you have a slow start, don't worry about that so much. It quincunxes Neptune in Pisces, the Leo moon that is, Pluto in Capricorn, and Jupiter in Pisces. So what's the dream? How can I change my life to match the dream? And I feel lucky in that process. It's all very straightforward. You know, in this time of year, people are usually very busy. So it's perfect because if you have this huge number of things that you've got to get done, you'll be able to really work in such a way that you'll be very satisfied with yourself by the end of this week, I feel. So there may be that little blip in the morning via the moon and Saturn, but the Sun allows you to overcome that really easily. Because Sagittarius is the centaur, strong, focused on where it's going. You'll want to pursue your dreams personally and in work. Oh, okay, so again, that distinction between, it doesn't matter if I'm in employment here and working on something I've been told to work on, or whether it's my dream, or whether I want to pursue something personally. All of these things, you bring a great sense of enthusiasm to it. So on Tuesday, even though we have that beginning, which is very off-brand with the rest of the week, things will feel really fun and exciting. Wednesday, the 14th of December, we've got the Leo moon forming a quincunx with Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, so this is a much better friendship. The Leo moon with Jupiter, it makes it bigger, right? So it's interesting that I said the day before that Leo kind of feels small. because the moon forming any kind of connection with Jupiter. Jupiter is good luck, it's good fortune, but it's also the biggest planet in our solar system, so it's about expansion and growth. So if Jupiter, for instance, in your birth chart is in your second house of money, it can often indicate a willingness to overspend or even to gamble. It's that kind of thing. The moon moves into Virgo at 9:45 in the morning. Okay, so I can just applaud that because we've got these hopes and dreams, this amazing self-confidence by the Leo moon in fire, right? And then the lucky planet joining it. But with Virgo, it makes you so steadfast, and it ensures that you don't get that, your head doesn't get too big for your, what's the expression, for your shoulders? And also that it somewhat mitigates this tendency to be excessive, because Jupiter in itself can be excessive, like I said, with the second house. But then if you add Leo, the Leo moon on top of it, it's really like, wow, I'm really the bee's knees here. Love it. So, and that can get too much. The Sun in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces. So I want to pursue my hopes and dreams. Mercury in Capricorn still allows you to be very drawn to symbols and to interpret them very well. Also means that your thinking is very practical and matter of fact. It's not about flights of fancy. It's about, okay, what are the figures and how do I add them up? Mercury in Capricorn squares Chiron in Aries. Oh, wow. So if there's something that you're unclear of, moving into next year, for instance, this is a great day to make New Year's resolutions, even if you do that, or to, regardless of the time of year, to feel like, okay, I'm getting my ducks in a row here. I'm getting organized. I know exactly what I want in future, and how I'm going to go about getting there. So if you felt a little bit lost or directionless lately, Wednesday the 14th of December is amazing. The Virgo moon then trines Venus in Capricorn. So I love my work, but I also love love. So maybe I want to work on my relationships, or I want to find a new relationship. So no wonder you feel like you've got so many options, because you genuinely do. I mean, I'm on the third day here of the week. So on Wednesday, the enthusiasm and the optimism, it explodes. And it's coupled by this ultra practical Virgo moon energy. So you have a real love for what you do, regardless of what you do, if you're in your dream job or not. So try and tackle the things that you don't usually enjoy so much. You'll find them easy to complete and even fun. So I think I said fun the day before as well. Okay, Thursday, the 15th of December, we've got Mercury in Capricorn squaring Chiron in Aries. So now you really understand how to figure it out for yourself. I'm just thinking of an example. If you've always dreamt of being a shipping magnate, then you'll figure out that you need to buy one boat first and have that registered and get the stock and ship it from point A to B and form connections, and then you can expand your fleet. All seems very straightforward. Nothing is going to seem... Oh, that's really interesting too, because on Wednesday, I warned you that the Leo moon and Jupiter could be a bit excessive. But this actually works in your favor, because you have an inflated sense of I can, that everything else shrinks in comparison. So usually, if starting your own empire would kind of intimidate or put you off a little bit, it's really like, wow, of course I could do it. What's that called? Is it the Myers-Briggs thing? Where it's you're consciously competent, unconsciously competent. And there are two others. So this is like, I am competent, but I haven't had the experience yet. And with the Virgo moon, it allows you to make yourself informed as you take these steps, or you're able to get the information so that you can take these very practical, solid action steps. The Virgo moon opposes Neptune in Pisces. It squares Mars in Gemini. It trines Mercury in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. And it quincunxes Chiron in Aries and Saturn in Aquarius. So again, I get a sense now that the moon is overwhelmed by all these relationships with the outer planets. So should I keep doing what I'm doing, be practical, or should I step back and dream about the future? Should I express myself via Mars and Gemini? Work in a practical sense, beautify my environment, look at symbols, do my landscape architecture for the year? And with Uranus and Taurus, there is no such thing as chaos. Anything that is surprising in my life, I'll be able to deal with. I think that's the real treasure chest of this week. It's that sense of, yeah, of course I can do it. It's not even a question. Hello. I mean, that's priceless. It quincunxes. Oh yeah, I mentioned that. With the Chiron and Aries connection, it's very much, I'm the captain of this ship and I don't need a crew. I know how to do everything. So that's making me a little bit suspicious because we can't do everything. But the good news is that you have that feeling. So deliberately, if there's something that's unclear or you don't want to do it by yourself, then deliberately include other people or study up on it, because then you're completely rounded. With the Saturn in Aquarius, you may feel like, okay, if I'm trying to do something, I really don't want to be influenced or interrupted or deterred by others. So there is a tendency on Thursday to be somewhat insular. I would suggest it's a good idea to include other people because you have all the tools. You have the practicality, the dream, the optimism, the enthusiasm, the self-belief. So if you want to make sure that this is guaranteed to work in your favor, then make sure you discuss it with someone else and do that in an informal way, because Saturn in Aquarius, it represents authority figures, the government, you know? So if you've got something on your mind that you're planning and you don't know exactly how that's going to look, talk to a friend about it. Don't immediately go to City Hall, I suppose. Well, going to City Hall, if you're ready for that and you want the rules and the regulations, also fine. But I just feel like you're not going to be so into that kind of authority or institution and doing it on an informal, or because you're just brainstorming. You don't know the ins and outs yet. That's the whole point. And I would speak to someone who you know is going to be supportive of your hopes and dreams, and particularly someone who can be happy for you, who wants you to succeed, which isn't always the case, even when people are close to you. Mercury in Capricorn quincunxes Mars in Gemini, and all of us, I meant, not just you, you in particular. Mercury in Capricorn quincunxes Mars in Gemini. That's great to express yourself creatively. Writers, sculptors, florists, candy makers, chocolatiers. So on Thursday, some of this easygoing energy drops off because we have the moon and it's being hammered by all these other planets. And it's replaced by a strong focus on your personal interests. So it's great because the Virgo moon says, okay, let me look around. If I'm being bombarded here, then I'm really going to make sure I pursue my own interests. I'm not going to let anyone get me down. I'm not going to let anything get me down because it's my life and I'm determined to enjoy it. Wow. So the energy of the moon, like kind of shrinking up like that, it kind of reminded me of the Four of Pentacles in the Tarot, which shows a miser clinging to his money. So a good thing, because this is the first time that there is more of a strong focus, balance that out by pursuing things you like to do, to enjoy and include other people. So writers and artists are going to have an easy time expressing themselves today, and you'll be able to produce really quality work. Friday the 16th of December, we've got the Virgo moon opposing Jupiter in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. So that's interesting because the Virgo moon says, you know, I want to get everything organized and done. With the opposition to Jupiter in Pisces, that's now made excessive. So you become like a, what is it? I read one of the Dune books recently, by Frank Herbert. And in those books, there's something called a mentip or a mendap or something. And it's these human beings who've been trained to replace computers. So they can do these amazing calculations. And that's what I feel. So now the Virgo side of things, and it is ruled by Mercury, the communication planet, right? So it's able to really get things organized and work with huge amounts of information. That is heightened to this amazing level where you can figure out anything. If you're working in research or in science or you're an inventor, Friday the 16th is your day. So you can see that we're going in so many directions. We had the interest in relationships on Wednesday. Now on Friday, you're in inventor mode, scientist mode. The Virgo moon also, it opposes Neptune in Pisces. So that's interesting because you become an expert in kind of sussing out what your own hopes and dreams are and how you're going to realize those. It squares the sun in Sagittarius, so the adventure is there. It trines Pluto in Capricorn, so I want the world to change for me almost. I want to manifest my life as it should be. But with Neptune involved and Virgo and the kind of wheels really turning nicely, you can trust that you're manifesting the right things. So really devote yourself to it and jump right in. The moon enters Libra at 8:49 in the evening. So that balances things out nicely. And it's not so, you're not going to be as eager to create. It kind of calms you down a little bit. So on Friday, the adventurous spirit returns with a vengeance, and you're able to deal with difficult situations even more easily. So if you've left your Christmas shopping, do it on Friday night when it's when it's busiest. Because you'll enjoy the chaos of it and you'll find it easy. So if stress is a chronic issue for you, you'll be surprised at how much you can clear this week, how much you can get off your plate. So you start to relax later in the evening on Friday the 16th, and you will find that you have a good time socializing or decompressing on your own. So again, you've got options, with or without. Saturday, the 17th of December, we've got the Libra moon forming a square with Venus and Mercury in Capricorn. So that's now really the artist. It's almost like an archetype walks into your life every day this week. We've got the scientist, we've got we've got Romeo from Romeo and Juliet. Now we've got Da Vinci, and they all kind of come in and inspire you in each one of those areas on different days. It's fabulous. So it's like a spiritual Christmas for you. So the Libra moon squares Venus and Mercury in Capricorn, like I said. So I love to work creatively, I love to be around other people, and I love to explore the world and see nature and different things. It opposes Chiron in Aries. Oh, so now my self-interest isn't as important as it is to connect with other people. So that also is going to bring the pace down a little bit. So it's a great time to relax. Trines Mars and Gemini and it quincunxes Uranus and Taurus. You're still able to deal with unforeseen circumstances and you're still incredibly creative. Well, still, I mentioned that for this day, Libra moon and Venus and Mercury. Mars and Gemini amplifies that even more. Mercury in Capricorn trines Uranus and Taurus. Again, there's no such thing as I can't. Everything. I have the scope to sort out everything. So on Saturday, travel or a day out is likely to appear on your to-do list, and you maintain the ability to tackle complex issues easily and effectively with a sense of fun. More fun. Sunday, the 18th of December, we've got the Libra moon forming a square with Pluto in Capricorn. So change is normal. Who's the archetype for change? Can't think of one. It trines Saturn in Aquarius. So what I mean by that, the Libra moon gives you this sense of balance. Pluto in Capricorn is I want to get things to change. So I'm the agent of change. I want to not just wait for things to happen in my life. I want to change them. I want to be really hands-on and do it for myself. Trine Saturn in Aquarius, so there's great respect for the wisdom of others and institutions which can help you implement these changes. Although on a Sunday, that institution, if it's, you know, some official company or working thing, it's unlikely to be open. But if you're making plans for the future as to how you can realize your hopes and dreams in the week ahead, you may get an idea who or what group of people or what institution can help you with that. It sextiles the Sun in Sagittarius, so creativity, fun-loving, socializing, and it quincunxes Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces. Wow. So Sunday, I think two archetypes appear: the agent of change and the person who loves to socialize. A socialite. Tinsley Mortimer comes into your life. Okay, so on Sunday, the 18th of December, relationships now do appear on your radar hugely and feel very exciting and interesting. But you may also feel the need to reach out and talk to people. So if you're able to do this in person, then combining it with something fun and creative like sightseeing or going to your favorite place, that's going to feel incredibly rewarding. So it looks like a fabulous week. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, scroll down a little bit until you get to the button that says book your reading. Click on that to audio reading with me. And in my personal readings, I use astrology, the tarot, and numerology. I combine all three. And your birth chart, I use a wheel. I'm a Western astrologer. And that shows me pretty much, I call it a blueprint of the soul because it does show me so much. I need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth to draw up your chart. And then I go through that and analyze it, which takes me about 30 minutes. If you have any questions about yourself or strengths or weaknesses or what's kind of destined in certain areas of your life and where you do have options and choice, then get in touch with me for that. I also look at the progress chart, the transits, astrocartography, and I do solar return charts for birthdays to see what's coming up in future. And if there's anything around moving, travel, it shows me which locations work really well for you and which are less amazing. So if you'd like me to have a look at yours, if you've got any questions in those areas, then please do get in touch with me. And if you have any questions at all, then please do get in touch with me because I also use the tarot and numerology, which gives me a nice overview. And I'm a Virgo myself, a sun sign Virgo, so I like to have a lot of information at my disposal. Yeah, and if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, week rather, and I'll speak to you next week. All the best. I'll speak to you daily for the daily tarot reading, so check that out if you like the tarot. They have a different way of interpreting what's floating in the atmosphere, so I love to use those. And yeah, have a wonderful time and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.